There are 11 games on Wednesday. Let's preview. Let's preview them, including another look at the disaster that is the New Orleans Pelicans and their injuries. Michael Bolton. Sorry about the misspeak.
Thanks, Josh. It's Michael Bolton here, and it's time for another episode of the Locked On Fantasy Basketball Podcast. Let's get to it.
Let's get to it, indeed.
You are Locked On Fantasy, your daily NBA fantasy podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello and welcome to the Locked On Fantasy Basketball Podcast, brought to you by Basketball Monster. My name is Josh Lloyd and it's the final countdown, and I'm also the lead fantasy analyst at basketballmonster.com, and you can find me on Twitter as always at redrock_bball, on TikTok at redrock_bball, and on Instagram at Locked On Fantasy Basketball. Start the season with a big return with FanDuel. Place a $5 bet, win your first $5 bet, and get $150 in bonus bets guaranteed. Go to FanDuel.com to get started. Also, newsletters, your favorite team, LockedOnDaily.com. Go and check it out. All the best information to help follow your favorite team. Maybe I jinxed the Pelicans by signing up for the Locked On Pelicans newsletter because it has been all bad news. Since I did that, I apologize for being a complete, what's the reverse talisman? That's maybe what I am. Maybe you need the old Malocchio put on me. Keep away. All right, we are here to talk about the games on Wednesday, 11 of them on. A few back-to-backs heading through here Tuesday to Wednesday. Let's talk about them. We've got 11 games on. There'll be a small ability to stream for some of you, not for everybody, and we'll cover that here. Of course, we're going to just start off, as we always do, by looking at what is on my radar in these 11 games, the injury updates as they appear currently. First game is the Indiana Pacers versus our Orlando Magic. That's starting to sound more like Michael Jackson versus the actual Orlando Magic song. Abracadabra. All right, lost it. Pacers are 2-point favorites on the road against the Magic. Schedule-wise, 3 more games for Indiana, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday. Orlando only has 2 more Wednesday, Friday. And both teams go into 4 games in Week 5. Nembhard is out. Nesmith is out. Obert Toppin missed the last game with an ankle sprain. No idea whether he is going to be available or not in this game. I'm not sure that I don't think we've had an update on that because, of course, injury updates are a fluid, living, moving, breathing thing. Toppin's actually officially questionable, so nailed that one. Paolo Banchero is out as per usual, and I don't know about Wendell Carter Jr. I'm just going to go ahead and assume that he isn't playing. I'll list him there with a doubtful tag. Wendell is out for Tuesday's game with a plantar fascia. I don't think he'll play on Wednesday. So what are we watching for? For the Pacers, last game without Obi Toppin, Jarris Walker did a lot more. Is that just because Toppin was out? Is he a 21-minute a guy or a 27-minute a night player? That's something to watch. He's at least streamable here, Jarris. And I want to see how that looks with or without Toppin. And then for the Magic, it probably is Mo Wagner. If you're looking for some points and high upside field goal, you can look at Mr. Black. You could also look at Tristan da Silva if you're feeling pretty saucy. And by saucy, I mean very, very desperate, ready to eat food out of a dumpster. In terms of the next game, which is where we're going to go now, it is your mates, the New Orleans Pelicans. I know Memphis were banged up last season. I don't think I've ever seen anything like this, what New Orleans is going through. I cannot believe it. So, we'll talk about that in a sec. The Thunder are 14-point favorites here in this game. New Orleans has Wednesday, Friday, Saturday this week, and the Thunder Wednesday, Friday, Sunday. Only 2 games in Week 5 for OKC and 3 games for the Pelicans. But look who is out. Zion Williamson, CJ McCollum, DeJounte Murray, Herb Jones, Jordan Hawkins, and now Jose Alvarado, 6 weeks with a hamstring injury. We just got Trey Murphy back. This is like, how is Brandon Ingram, the man who cannot play 70 games, the only person still standing? How is that happening? It is, but how? So what do? You drop Jose Alvarado. Obviously, if you've got him, there's no point holding on there. Honestly, I don't know what they're going to do. Are we going to get, for deeper leagues, Antonio Reeves? Jamal Cain? Javonte Green? By the way, Javonte Green might be listed as a shooting guard on some fantasy sites. He plays exclusively power forward with some small forward or small ball center. He is not a guard at all. Doesn't play. It's like Terry Taylor being listed as a guard, the Red Rooster. He's not a guard. He is a forward and a power forward, maybe small forward if you get desperate. But now they've got no point guards. None. It's going to be Ingram as their point guard, and it's going to be Brandon Boston. Boston had double-digit assists last game. He is a very clear must roster, and it will not last because look at what he's returning. 30 minutes of Zion, 33 of McCollum, 35 of DeJounte, 32 of Herb, 20-ish of Hawkins, 15 of Alvarado. Like, there's not enough. He's good, Boston. I like him a lot. It's not realistic for this to be a long-term thing. But for now, yeah, we go with it, of course. On the Thunder side of things, it's still Chet, obviously, Isaiah Hartenstein, and Pig Williams remain sidelined. We are watching BJ Boston. We're watching to see if those assists were real. We're watching to see how much actual point guard he plays. I'm going to think a lot. He's going to play 1 million minutes, and he's going to be one of the best. He's just a must-roster player, simple as that. On the Thunder side, Lou Dort, also, unbelievably, I'm going to say there are 2 players who I think are must-grab players at the moment in this show here that I can't believe I'm going to say. I think Lou Dort's one of them. With the absence to Chet, we saw some unpredictability in other guys, but Dort's minutes are up. He's playing well. Now, he can be brutal. But yeah, I think he's an ad. In terms of stream, guys, Eve Missy is available. We detailed this on yesterday's recap show. He didn't go for 17-11 last game because Zion was out, because the game before without Zion, he had 0-1. So yeah, what's he averaging? Like 8.5 and 6 in the last two games without Zion. That is important. Not to say he's not a good ad, but that last game does not, past performance does not indicate future value, whatever that nonsense disclaimer is. Be aware of that. Worth a stream for sure. And then on the Thunder side, like if Lou Dort's, you grab him, but otherwise we go to Aaron Wiggins, Isaiah Joe, Case and Wallace, and now instead of having 1 starting lineup spot they're going to rotate, they're going to have 2. It gives a little bit of security to Wallace, Joe, Wiggins, that triumvirate, because probably 2 of those 3 will be starting every day. But you just don't know what they're going to do. Who else are we going to get there? Dylan Jones, Usman Jeng? Don't be surprised if it's just complete shenanigans from the Thunder the whole way through. So yeah, I think Aaron Wiggins or Joe or Wallace, they're all streamable, but it is, of course, not something we know. Cleveland, the undefeated Cleveland Cavaliers, taking on the Philadelphia 76ers. The Cavs play Wednesday, Friday, Sunday. The Sixers, 2 more games left after Tuesday. They go Wednesday and Friday. 3 games for Cleveland next week, 4 for the Sixers. Max Strus is going to be out, and I had preemptively put Jarrett Allen on the injury report with a questionable tag. He'd ended the last 2 games early. They seem to be checking him out on the bench with something, and now, miraculously, not really, he is on the official injury report as questionable with a leg strain, I think they've called it, which is an unbelievably weird injury that he's pushing towards hockey injury reporting stuff. I don't know what's wrong with Jarrett Allen. If he misses, you are going to get, obviously, Evan Mobley at center. You probably get some Tristan Thompson, a backup center, and it means more for George Niang, more for Sam Merrill, more for Dean Wade, who could easily start. They could start Okoro at the 3, Wade at the 4, which I think they probably would. That would push Wade into those deeper sort of situation streams. On the Sixers side of things, Tyrese Maxey is out. Very, very certain Joel Embiid is going to be out on the back-to-back, and I'm fairly certain that Paul George is going to be out. He's just returned from a knee injury. They said it in the preseason that there was likelihood that he was going to sit back-to-backs. I know they are struggling, but he is just returning from a knee bone bruise. I do not think that Paul George plays. I am less certain of that than Embiid. I'm 100% on Embiid. He is not playing. All right, that I know that. Paul George, I don't think he plays. Pretty sure he doesn't. 98% sure Paul George is out for this one as well. So the Cavs are going to kill him. They're going to cook him. Even if Jarrett Allen is out, it's going to be a disaster. No Maxey, no George, no Embiid is the likely setup here. I do want to see Jarrett Allen and see if he plays and how limited he actually is, because the last couple of games have been pretty poor. In terms of streams, Ty Jerome is on an absolute heater. Now, Ty Jerome, I talked about him yesterday, saying that his ranking for the season suggests 14-team league. Then I went and really dug into it afterwards. His steal rate is out of control. It's so high that it has no chance of sticking. His 3-point percentage, through the roof. This man is doing stuff that has 0 chance of holding, none whatsoever, absolutely no way. But maybe we stream it. At least he's getting the minutes, 20 minutes a night, but you could go to Merrill, you could go to Wade, you could go to old mate Niang as well, with the potential or likely absence of Jarrett Allen. On the Sixers side of things, Kyle Lowry is a stream, but also Jared McCain. With all of those usage players out, Oubre and McCain are going to take 1 million shots. I'd expect 30 minutes from Jared McCain, and I think he's going to be worthwhile. We'll see what he does on Tuesday, but that game almost doesn't matter in terms of how we value it for Wednesday, because there's going to be a lot more different players out, and Jared McCain is going to have the opportunity to do some good stuff. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel Sportsbook. Tackle all of the NFL action with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook, because right now new customers can bet $5 and get $150 in bonus bets if you win that first $5 bet. The FanDuel Sportsbook app gives you everything that you need to place those live bets on the NFL. You open it up, you can see the bets. Well, of course you would. That would be the major function of a sportsbook app. So FanDuel, well done, you nailed the first part, but then they've added these other things, and you can see the live stats in that same spot. You can see the live play-by-play analysis. So when you're sitting there watching the game and you are spewing out your unbelievable level of ball knowledge, you can go and just sneakily just check the stats and make sure it adds up, place your live bets, and bang, you're off. Go to FanDuel.com today to join, and you get $150 in bonus bets if you win your first $5 bet. Never waste a hunch and make every moment more with FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL, and don't forget to gamble responsibly. Let's go on to the next game here. We're talking Celtics and Brooklyn Nets. This game is no spread available at this point. Boston's only got Wednesday, Saturday left, and then 3 games the following week, while Brooklyn goes Wednesday, Friday, Sunday into a 3-game week 5. Much like I'm ruling Joel Embiid out, I am ruling Al Horford out. It's a back-to-back. He's playing on Tuesday, so he will sit on Wednesday. Kristaps Porzingis will be out. Jaden Springer, the package is questionable for Tuesday. I'll keep him questionable for Wednesday here as well. And then Jason Tatum was questionable heading into Tuesday with an ankle sprain. He is playing on Tuesday. Don't be shocked if he pops up again with a questionable tag on a back-to-back with an ankle injury or sits it out against Brooklyn. Do not be surprised. They do not need a severe injury happening to Tatum. They've got the luxury of doing that, and I wouldn't be shocked if he sits this one. Bojan Bogdanovic, Trendon Watford, Day'Ron Sharpe, all out. Dorian Finney-Smith officially questionable. And last game without Finney-Smith, we saw Zaire Williams start and be pretty useful. And if Finney-Smith would be out again, I think we would pay some real attention to Zaire. On the Nets, what are we watching? Well, Ben Simmons put up 12 assists in 22 minutes. And the thing about that is great. The thing that I'm more worried about is why did he only play 22 minutes? He'd been getting 24 to 25. Why were the minutes down as opposed to being up? Because he's not going to be 12 assists in 22 minutes. Sorry to break it to you. Not happening. But let's watch where it goes. In terms of stream, guys, I expect there's no Al Horford. Old mate, Sneaky Joe Mazzulla can do whatever he wants here, right? There's so many different options. I believe that he will go to Nemesh Keita as a mid to high 20 minutes player, which makes him a 12-team stream guy. And I think Zaire Williams could be a stream. That's more if Dorian Finney-Smith is out, which I don't know at this point. But if he doesn't play, then Zaire Williams is going to be our stream target. The next game is the Clippers taking on your Houston Rockets. The spread is out for this one, and the Rockets are 4.5-point favorites at home, and both teams play Wednesday, Friday, Sunday this week, and both teams play 4 games next week. Kawhi is out. Mo Bamba is out. I don't know if Steven Adams is going to play. It's been an on-off sort of scenario. I'll leave him doubtful for now. This doesn't really impact much for fantasy-wise. While Fred VanVleet missed the last game, no official update on his status yet. Obviously, we saw Amen Thompson absolutely cook with Fred out. And if Fred comes back, maybe he doesn't play 38 minutes, he plays 35. Ooh, we'll see. The other one is Jock Landale, who's missed the last game. He's questionable. And I would imagine if Landale is not able to go, then Adams will play. Jeff Green still plays for his team, yeah? Imagine they unearth Jeff Green again. Why is he still on this roster? Anyway, for the Clippers, James Harden. I'm a little worried that his field goal percentage just isn't going to increase. His rim numbers aren't great. He's just not putting that pressure and getting the free throw numbers that he used to. He's still awesome. He's still putting up great fantasy numbers, but I'm a little worried about that field goal number. And then for the Rockets, it's Amen Thompson. Because, 4 steals and 4 blocks is a ridiculous output last game. How do they keep the minutes? Is he back to 23? 22? Does he stay at 28? What happens if VanVleet plays? Derek Jones Jr. played 30 minutes, I think, in 2 of the last 4 games. And that makes him somewhat interesting as a stream guy. Very hard to trust it. And there's guys like Chris Dunn who could also be streamed in there. And on the Rocket side, it's Dylan Brooksy Brooks. You've got a minutes floor at least. The production, whatever. But he's at least in there as someone, if you're wanting something and getting a minutes level there, which he's not losing playing time, he's worth looking at in terms of a stream guy. The Wizards and the San Antonio Spurs. In San Antonio, this game, schedule-wise, Washington is Wednesday, Friday, Sunday, whereas San Antonio is Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, and both teams play 3 in Week 5. Malcolm Brogdon will remain out. Rashawn Holmes is officially questionable with an illness. And then Trey Jones and Jeremy Sohan are out for San Antonio. And the Malachi Branham, he's missed the last couple with an ankle sprain. I'll just put him as questionable here. Not sure how much it overall matters. I want to watch Kyle Kuzma. Not because I want to watch Kyle Kuzma, because I want to see if he's anyone got any ability to reel him in. Now, for all of the shit that Jordan Poole has gotten, this guy's way worse. I don't know if he's a worse player or not, but in terms of terrible shots, not caring on defense, because the man's got a bigger body. He should be able to defend guys. He doesn't care. He takes terrible shots. I don't know what he's doing on this team. Poole, yes, frustrating. Clown behavior at times. But it appears that he is more bought in, he has reined stuff in, and he has changed around what he does. This idiot, 1 million shots in 24 minutes. It's frustrating. So we'll see. Is he going to come out there and go, I'm the big boy here, let me take all the shots? Because that's going to frustrate us. It's going to kill Bob Carrington. It's going to kill Keyshawn George. Or does Brian Keefe go, can you pull your head in, you clown, and stop doing this? I don't know. For the Spurs, Steph Castle, big minutes the last couple of games. He only scored 10 points. And someone said, man, you're so wrong to say that he had a bad shooting night because, those shots came from three and he was 40% from three. And that is true, right? But the problem is, and I've talked about this for years, is that field goal percentage is a terrible way of measuring efficiency. And it's a terrible category to have in fantasy. And there's always going to be someone that says, before you do this, I'm not saying to not replace it, and efficiency does matter. But field goal percentage does not determine if a player is efficient or not. It doesn't. It's a bad category for fantasy. It should be replaced by effective field goal percentage. And you can still have your free throws. That's why I probably wouldn't use true shooting. Have effective field goal and free throws as your 2 percentages, because field goals doesn't tell you anything. So Castle going 2 or 5 from 3 last game was actually pretty solid. But he shot like 41% from the field, which for fantasy makes it bad. And he's continually bad in terms of his overall field goal percentage. And he's not a good shooter, but it was a good outside shooting night. But for fantasy, it sucked again. I want to see where Castle is in terms of usage. I want to see if he's hovering still at 30 minutes. I think he will be. And I think that'll start to change when Trey Jones returns and Vassell ramps up. So that's all about what we need to watch here. In terms of stream, guys, Keyshawn George lost a lot of minutes, but they still played Corey Kispert 32 minutes, which you know what you don't have to do? Play Corey Kispert 32 minutes, because he's not good. He's 50 years old already. I don't know why you would do that. So hopefully 6 of those Kispert minutes switch on to George and we get 30 minutes back of Keyshawn and 27 of Kispert, maybe, hopefully, and let's see. But otherwise, we can stream Kispert. I would still hold George and see what shakes out. And then Castle is the stream Castle. Someone said to me, why is he saying Steph Castle in that voice? I'll tell you why. Because Castle is how it's pronounced in America. And for some reason, in Victoria, here in Australia, my state where I live, we say Castle. The other states, I don't know why. I don't know why this is the case. But other states say Castle, like they're English. Oh, we're aristocratic Englishmen and we say Castle. Oh, cool. You're going for a dance through your castle. Or I say, you're going to dance in a castle. So I would say castle. And someone said, why aren't you saying castle? Because I'm Victorian. And don't you? Let me get it. All right, Steph Castle. Yeah, that's what we're doing. Next game. Shout out Bill Laurie. What is the next one? It is the Pistons and the Bucks. Both of these teams playing Tuesday, so they're on a back-to-back. So, yeah, we don't really know what we're going to get out of this. Wednesday, Friday, Sunday, Detroit, and Wednesday, Saturday, Milwaukee. 3 games, Detroit. 4 games, Milwaukee the week after. Asar Thompson's out. Bobby Clintman's out. Chris Middleton will be out. And I don't expect Damian Lillard to play. He is out on Tuesday. And what they actually did, Doc Rivers, the madman, started Ryan Rollins. Rollins is starting on Tuesday. Now, I don't know how Rollins has gone because that game hasn't started yet. But Ryan Rollins is starting, not Gary Trent, not Pat Connaughton. So, yeah, Rollins is a stream guy. He's absolutely a stream guy if he's going to start at point guard. He's a really interesting passing and pick and roll guy. Loves picking things. Isaiah Stewart and Jalen Duren are both playing on Tuesday. I'm just going to put them with the soft probable tag here. Same with Gary Trent, Andre Jackson, and Giannis. All those guys have a probable tag for Tuesday, and they've all been ruled in. And I'm going to put a probable tag on them for Wednesday. It's a back-to-back. So don't be surprised when they pop up on the injury report. That's why I put them there. In terms of streams for Detroit, it's nearly always either Tim Hardaway or Leaky Beasley. And if Duren does miss, which I don't think he will, it'll be Isaiah Stewart. And then on the Bucks side, it's either Andre Jackson or Ryan Rollins, especially if Dame is out. Rollins might be interesting, but we'll get more information on that in the game on Tuesday. The Minnesota Timberwolves and the Portland Trailblazers, another team, another game where both teams are on a back-to-back here. Schedule-wise, Minnesota's already 8.5-point favorite. Schedule-wise, it's Wednesday, Friday, Sunday for Minnesota, and it's Wednesday, Sunday for Portland. That's a big gap there. Thursday, Friday, Saturday with no games for Portland. Minnesota has a 2-game week next week as well. The only injuries is Matisse Thybulle is out, and DeAndre Ayton is listed questionable for the game on... what day is it? For the game on Tuesday. Out of nowhere with a finger sprain. All right, so DeAndre Ayton is listed, questionable. So there has to be a risk that Ayton is going to sit one of these 2 games or both. Meaning, Well, I'll tell you what won't happen. Rob Williams won't play both, and I don't know if he's going to be in or out on these games, so I'm not sure where that lies. Rob Williams won't play both. He'll be hurt, or he's resting, and then Klingon gets a real bump. We just don't know. So that'll be something to watch. In terms of streams, it's the standard stream, guys. It's Jaded McDaniels, it's Tamani Kamara. They are the very, very stock standard streaming option players on both of these teams who are just sort of sitting around in enough leagues that it can be useful. Today's episode is also brought to you by Mint Mobile. With big wireless providers, what you see is never what you get. Between when you leave the store and then when you get that first bill, do you still get them in the mail or is it just email? I'm guessing it's just email. The price that you thought that you were magically paying, like it just skyrockets. Bang, it's up. What? Hey, that's not what I thought we were doing. With Mint Mobile, you never have to worry about those gotchas ever again. When Mint Mobile says $15 a month when you purchase a 3-month plan, that is what they mean. So say goodbye to overpriced wireless plans, jaw-dropping monthly bills, and unexpected overages. Mint Mobile is here to rescue you with premium wireless plans starting at $15 a month. All plans come with high-speed data and unlimited talk and text on the nation's largest 5G network. Use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan and bring your phone number along with all of your existing contacts. Ditch overpriced wireless with Mint Mobile's deal and get 3 months of premium wireless service for $15 a month. And to get this new customer offer and your new 3-month premium wireless plan for just $15 a month, go to mintmobile.com/lockedonnba. That is mintmobile.com/lockedonnba. Cut your wireless bill to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/lockedonnba. It's a $45 upfront payment required, equivalent to $15 a month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Speeds slower above 40 gigabytes on unlimited plan. Additional taxes, fees, and restrictions apply. See Mint Mobile for details. Okay, let's go through the rest of these games that we've got here. 2 more to go, then we'll go to some more streaming stuff. It is Memphis taking on the Los Angeles Lakers. Neither of these teams play on Tuesday, so that's good for us. Wednesday, Friday, Sunday is Memphis' schedule. Lakers is Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, both with 3 games in week 5. The Grizzlies injury report is close to the Pelicans. It's Ja Morant, it's Desmond Bane, it's Vince Williams, it's G.G. Jackson. They're all out. Vince could be coming back soon. Another one who is set to come back is Marcus Smart. Smart was listed doubtful last game, obviously didn't play. I'm expecting him to be questionable here, and his return, it would impact guys. It'll impact the assists that Jake LaRavia is getting. It'll impact, I think, some of the minutes that Jalen Wells and Scottie Pippen are getting. And Pippen could easily move to the bench because Smart will just start there, go Smart, Wells, Eldama, Jackson, Clark, or whatever they want to do. So Smart's actually available in a lot of spots. Not saying he's going to be great, but he's worth an ad while these players are out. Vanderbilt's going to be out. Wood's going to be out. D'Angelo Russell is questionable, which, he's not playing well, obviously. I would hold for now, but that's a little bit annoying. While the good news is Anthony Davis's poke in the eye is all good. He's fine. He's not even wearing goggles, so we're good to go. Everything is cleared up and no problems. On the Grizzlies, I do want to watch what happens to Scottie Pippen. What happens to him if Smart plays? Does his minutes drop? Does his role change? Where does his assist do? We're still rostering him, obviously. Long term, I don't think we will, but that's okay. We do it for now. And then for the Lakers, I do want to see what is going on with D'Angelo Russell. Do we really believe that 29 minutes of Cam Reddish is the solution? It's like, I don't think D'Lo is the answer, but I'm pretty sure Reddish isn't. So let's see what they do. I would love if Max Christie could play that role, but maybe he's just bad. Possible as well. Jay Huff, ridiculous block rate, through the roof block rate. He's probably streamable. But I think there are a lot of other guys like LaRavia, like Pippen, if he's available, it's more than a stream. Wells even as well. And then on the Lakers, if you are looking for some defensive stats, if you get 29 minutes out of Cam Reddish, there is a 3 or 4 steal upside there. There's not much else he's going to do. He might take 2 shots for the entire game. In fact, that's a good tracker. Shots versus steals for Reddish. What do you think is going to top out at the bigger number? Don't know. Last game. It is the Suns. It is the Kings. We're in Sacramento for this one. The Kings are 6.5-point favorites, which seems a lot, but that's what it is. The Suns play Wednesday, Friday, Sunday with 2 games in week 5. Sacramento's Wednesday, Friday, Saturday going into 3 games week 5. And we know that Durant is out. And then Yusuf Nurkic, he's still questionable for Tuesday's game, so I'll put him questionable for Wednesday. I would think if he sits on Tuesday, it's a likelihood that he sits on Wednesday. But if he plays Tuesday, I think we're good to go, unless something happens in the game. Malik Monk, Devin Carter, and Orlando Robinson are going to be out in Sacramento. So what do I want to watch on Sacramento? I want to see De'Aaron Fox because the assists have disappeared. Potential assists are down. His finger's been busted. I'm a little worried. And people, I know that there can be some social accounts and people who talk on Twitter, you're going to be shocked, that talk out of their ass. That does happen. I'm not sure if you've ever come across that. Maybe one of them is me, @_RedRock_Beeble. I talk out of my ass at times too. But the idea is like DeMar DeRozan fitting in seamlessly in Sacramento. Is he? Like, his numbers are fine. But the thing with DeMar, the thing that I've always talked about DeMar, is he makes everybody else do different things. And does that lead to success? Like, no, it doesn't. It never has. DeMar's had a negative on-off, 90% of his career? He makes everyone different. So his numbers, totally fine. Totally fine. They've got no depth. All their starters are playing 38 minutes a night. They're 6-5. They're 10th in the West. But DeMar's numbers are good. So that means it's fitting in seamlessly. No, it means he's just doing what he does. And everyone else is adjusting in different areas. Keegan Murray's volume down. Fox doesn't have the ball in his hands as much. It's changing. And I'm not even saying that it's good or bad because the Kings are about the same as they were last season. But context is so important with all of this stuff. Yeah, DeRozan's numbers are great. Cool. What about everyone else? What does that do to everyone else? What does it do to the team? What does it do to all their values? And that's, again, trying to cut through the nonsense that you see sometimes through Insta, through Twitter, through whatever. Because it exists. Stream guys, Grayson Allen. If Royce O'Neal is grabbed already, I would go with Allen, and then I would go with Ryan Dunn, who's going to start in place of Kevin Durant, I'm guessing. And then with No Malik Monk, both Kevin Huerter and Keon Ellis get bumps, and they're both streamable here as well. Let's take a look at some schedule options. There's no Wednesday, Thursday back-to-back for us to look at. So let's just get chunky instead and go Wednesday through Sunday. That is the rest of week 4. Friday is I think it's a 12 or 13 game day, 12 I think. So it's very hard to stream in on that day. So I'm going to ignore that day and I'm going to look at who you can get the best value out on Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday combined. Like who's got the best overall value in that 5-game period. And here are some names that are available in over 55% of Yahoo leagues. And we start with Brandon Boston, just an absolute must roster. Got to do it. No, stop it. Just going at him. Have to. Nemesh Cater, I think, is going to get a start on Wednesday and maybe 20 minutes in the other game the Celtics play. That's enough. Tari Eason, also, if you've just stopped this to go and add Brandon Boston, go and do it with Tari Eason, who is cutting into Jabari Smith's playing time. Bub Carrington, usage very low, shot well, really good defensive stats. Don't believe the defensive stats, but I also believe the usage can rise. I think he should be rostered less so than Boston and Eason. And then Aaron Wiggins and Keon Ellis. Got the 2 games on the lower volume days across that next 5-day period. Injuries are obviously helping both of them. You're not going to feel super confident about Wiggins or even about Alice, but at least they're there as options that you can slide in and take a crack at. Let's look at the daily streaming now for Wednesday and start with the streams of the day. And I think your 10-teamer, with my assumption that Al Horford is out, I think it's Nemesh Cater. Like 14 and 12 with 2 blocks and 70% shooting. Realistic for him, which is, you don't get that on the wire very often. You might get it through a Goga Badadze. And he's another option there too, but like Nemesh Cater. For a 12-teamer, like it's Keon Ellis, but like, I don't feel very good. Remember, Brandon Boston's basketball monster roster percentage is sitting at like 91 or something. Yahoo, it's 37. So some of you won't be able to add Boston. I understand that. But if you can get yourself BJ, I would do that. If your league is one of the ones like on Yahoo where he's just not available, where he's not rostered, go and get it. Go and add Brandon. Aaron Wiggins is my 14-team league guy there. Luke Cornett, because, again, I think Horford's out, and it's going to be a lot of Cater and Cornett. So that's a deeper league one, and no one's rostering Cornett. And then for Yahoo points, again, I'll use the Yahoo 45% cutoff. Boston's there. And then for ESPN points, I think that Goga Badadze shades him because the efficiency bump you get in an ESPN points scoring setting. Let's just run through the last stream of the day list here. 10-teamers, we've got Nemesh Cater, Keon Ellis, Aaron Wiggins, Kevin Huerter, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, and yes, Ben Simmons is worth streaming for those rebounds and assists. For 12-teamers, we go to Luke Cornett, and this is the guy I referenced earlier, but I do think that Patrick Williams is worth a look, honestly. Like, he is a really interesting player who is... Did I forget? I feel like I've missed a game. Did I forget the Bulls game? What's going on with me? Let me double check this. I did forget the Bulls game. Bloody hell. All right, let's do it now. I don't have time to go back and re-edit it and put it back in, and I'm sure you guys are going to be screaming, oh, you've got the Bulls game. Yep, I did, and it came later. Apologies. Knicks are 9-point favorites here. The Bulls go Wednesday, Friday, Sunday. The Knicks go Wednesday, Friday, Sunday. 4 games for Chicago, 3 games for the Knicks. Lonzo's out. Jalen Smith is questionable. And I put Adama Sonogo there as questionable too because if Smith is out, Sonogo would play in that position, but we just don't know. Zach LaVine is probable. While for the Knicks, Achua and Robinson are out, and Juice McBride is questionable for Tuesday, so I'll put him questionable here, and Cam Payne is questionable for Tuesday, so I'll put him questionable for Wednesday. I want to see Kobe White because he's getting a lot of steals at the moment, and I don't fully believe what he's doing, and some of his shooting has been a little bit up and down, but it's the high level of steals, which is very odd for White, so let's just see how that sticks and holds. In terms of streams, it is the big fella, Pat Williams, who I actually think he's a 12-team league option somehow at the moment. His minutes are up. They're souring on Matas Buzelis, and Torrey Craig isn't playing, so I actually unbelievably think that he's worth a look. And then for the Knicks, it's always going to be Juice McBride. It can't really be anyone else apart from Juice McBride because he's the only player that gets minutes on that bench. Now let's go back to talk about the 12-team streaming options. Luke Cornett, Patrick Williams, Tamani Kamara, Isaiah Joe, Jarris Walker, and Eve Misi. For deeper leagues, these are 20% rostered or below on our Basketball Monster metric. It's Kaysen Wallace, Timothy John McConnell, Nikhil Alexander Walker, Andre Jackson Jr., throw Ryan Rollins in that mix as well, Javonte Green, and Chris Dunn, maybe Antonio Reeves for deeper formats. For your Yahoo points leagues, we're talking Boston, Bedadze, Cater, Carrington, Eason, and Jared McCain. You've done it again. And for ESPN points leagues, I'm looking at Bedadze, Cater, Boston, Carrington, Tari Eason, and lastly, Fanapants, Kevin Herter. That'll bring us to the end of a show that had some foibles. That's okay. We move, as the kids would say. And as your resident 44-year-old bald Aussie would say, hit the thumb up, subscribe. Let's get it to 100K now. Should we hit a smaller target? Let's go 85 first. That's okay. Let's do Operation 85K. But I do thank everyone again for getting us to 80K. We are done here. Thank you so much for listening, everyone. See ya.